Evening and welcome back to another video. I've been promising this for a number of videos, and I had to do some research obviously on the back of my prediction, but today I'm going to give my 2019 and onwards prediction for EOS. So this cryptocurrency currently sits in 5th position with a market cap of 2.5 billion, with a very healthy 25 volume of $727 million, with a total supply of total circulating supply of 906,245,118. So if we look at the actual price, and obviously its volume over 24 hours compared to other currencies, so it's sitting at $2.84. So this is quite important to note, so let's just remember that in our minds. And like I said, well, volume's gone up slightly, 729 million. And where does it sit in comparison? So it actually sits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. That's bizarre. If we take out Tether, it will be 4th place. Now, if you compare it to the 3 coins in front of it, Litecoin's at $43, so it's roughly 20 times larger per coin, but its volume is only around $250 million more than EOS. So you could say if they were similar price, then EOS's 25 volume would be massive. If you compare it to Ethereum, similarly, EOS is 50, 60 times larger in terms of its price than EOS, and it's sitting at a 2.8 billion volume. So again, EOS on that price would sit 3rd place. So it's very healthy for a coin which is quite low in value compared to its counterparts in the top 5. So what was EOS's highest ever all-time high, which we have to probably go back to around January, if not, actually not, it was actually April. I don't think it was any higher than. Yes, actually it is. So bizarrely enough, it actually peaked, unlike the other currencies, which is good to note, at in April, and it was $21.46. So what are we sitting at? 10 times its all-time high. I think that's its. I don't think it was any higher. If I just take all, let me just confirm. I'm pretty sure it was around $20. Yeah, $21.46. So it's sitting at $2.84. So that's basically the background of its price and where it got to. Now I want to look at this article and kind of just use its information more than anything in terms of to gauge and understanding. So this is basically, we're moving into March now, and the price is $2.84. It's been fairly consistent in terms of price so far this year. So EOS is a blockchain-based platform which provides support for decentralized operations and facilitates the creation of blockchain apps. In addition to this, EOS cryptocurrency, the token offered by the network, has shown enormous potential and is attracting investors at an unprecedented pace. The developers also declared that the network is able to complete 50,000 transactions per second, an attribute which will follow for stability when the usage of EOS cryptocurrency becomes widespread. What makes EOS cryptocurrency unique? The maximum supply is available is 1 billion EOS. The coin cannot be mined, they are obtained by making investments. It provides a significantly higher transaction speed which outperforms existing platforms. For the aforementioned reasons, EOS is tipped to emerge as one of the leading cryptocurrencies in the nearest future, and it is fondly referred as the Ethereum on steroids. So some also claim that the acronym represents endless online scaling. However, there is no word on its legitimacy. So the history behind it. Without doubt, being able to ascertain the accurate price prediction of EOS cryptocurrency will ensure that investors make an informed decision. Assessing its historic performance will help identify hidden patterns and will cause a proper evaluation of the currency's potential. Trade began on the 2nd of July 2017, and an official price was put at $1.03 per EOS. So this only coming up to 2 years old EOS. Just bear that in mind as well. At this time, this seemed reasonable and fair for a new entrant to the cryptosphere. However, for a period of 4 months, the coin wasn't getting much activity, as earlier predicted, and price slumped. November 2017 was a sudden turn of events, and EOS surged rapidly. On November the 4th, it was traded at $1.21. At the same time, the market capitalization of EOS was estimated to be 54 million. Wow. From then on, its volatile nature became obvious to all, and finally, on January 13th, EOS reached a new high, and it was trading at $18.16 with a market cap of $109 million. Unfortunately, the vicissitudes, don't know what that means, which are usually exhibited in cryptocurrencies, got a hold of EOS, and the law of gravity set in. It began a downward spiral which saw the price at $4.08 as of March 19. Again, it took 5 weeks to recover before it finally peaked at $21.46 on April 29th. By this time, the market capitalization was put at $176.6 million. Currently, it is trading at less than $12, but this doesn't gainsay the potential of EOS cryptocurrency. It has a blockchain infrastructure which rivals that of Ethereum, and is ranked the 5th largest coin based on market capitalization. Some of the other reasons for its perceived growth are explained below. EOS is less risky alternative to Ethereum and BTC. So let's say EOS rises rapidly in the next few weeks and you become interested in the currency. You can still purchase as much as you want without spending a fortune. This is true with cryptocurrencies like Ethereum and Bitcoin, as their price is much higher. Hence, investors who are in the need of low-cost coins with long-term benefits will find EOS appealing. A networthy marketing strategy. Block One is not only renowned for their technical expertise, their marketing strategy also propelled them into the limelight. They were able to earn the attention of notable entities such as New York Times and Reuters, and this caused their ranking on the CoinMarketCap to rise. Let's look at this. EOS broke into the top 10 space with a very short time. Well, wow, that's true. Less than 2 years. In ascension, according to the several crypto experts, it's good to be true, more likely a fairy tale. Consider that we have over 1,340 cryptocurrencies in the market, well, more now, 2,000. Among the multitude, EOS and newcomer manages nearly 1.5 billion trading volume daily. Well, it's half that now actually. Well, it might be more. It's a Saturday. The future of crypto, the future is particularly promising for EOS. So that's kind of the background in EOS. A few things the article hasn't mentioned is they had a year-long ICO and they raised around $4 billion, which is the highest ever and the longest-running ICO. If we compare it to its closest rival, I would say that's probably Ethereum. At the moment, Ethereum hasn't got Constantinople. Obviously, we're expecting that on 25th, which is following Monday, and let's hope it goes through. Sorry, I just yawned. A bit tired. It's faster than Ethereum. Obviously, 50,000 transactions every second compared to, I think, Ethereum is maybe 30 or 40, maybe 50 transactions a second. So a way hell of a lot faster than Ethereum at the moment. You can't mine them, so you buy them or you invest to get more EOS. So the way it works is there's an app which I use called Scatter. Yes, and I mean it's just a plugin. You stake your EOS on the EOS network to help the project grow. On the back of that, you stake it against CPU mining and RAM and help the network. This then allows your coins to be locked in, and now you're helping the network. And in return, you get rewarded with EOS and also other tokens or cryptocurrencies created on the back of EOS. So obviously, originally EOS was an ERC20. It was a creation from the Ethereum network, but obviously has gone on to its own mainnet. So now it's independent. It has its own blockchain, and nothing to do with Ethereum anymore. And people build off the EOS blockchain. So they're kind of like, you can say, almost the couple of things run of the mill. The staking is very important because people invest and then they stake back into EOS, so it keeps the strength of the blockchain getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and more people dump their currency and load it into the EOS network. Similar to what Ethereum wants to do with proof of stake, but it hasn't implemented proof of stake yet. And I understand that's going to come with Constantinople and moving to the whole year of eventually moving off proof of work and slowly moving people off POW to POS. Obviously, Ethereum EOS is already proof of stake because you don't mine, so there's no proof of work. Because it's got a fast transaction time, then a way fast transaction time than Bitcoin and Ethereum and others, which it rivals, dApps can be built on EOS. So not only are they going to be building their own apps, people will build apps on EOS. And because of the transaction speed, you've got a system which is fairly robust in terms of movement and ability to play games and also transact within those games and not disrupt or slow down the network. So now you've got a few more things which at the moment make it a lot better than Ethereum. What's the negatives? Well, what can I see the negatives? EOS has only been running for less than 2 years. So July 2017 is when it went live. It's not even 2 years old yet. It's technically only a year and a half old. The price of obviously EOS and its volume is very, very high. For a currency which is a year and a half old to be sitting at rank 5th, which means it's higher than Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV, who have higher prices, it shows a testament to Block One, the company behind EOS. So if we have a look at their website, it tells you Block One is a Cayman Islands exempt company, is building EOS IO software. So they're the ones who are working on the network and are trying to implement any changes and also grow the network. So it tells you here, no ERC20 tokens became fixed, not just on the Ethereum blockchain on June 2nd. This is where they were promising, 10 or 20 or 30 airdrops from the back of you staking your coins on the network. Now, a lot of these projects didn't necessarily happen, and I think because of the bear market we had last year, a lot of coins or a lot of projects might be holding. I mean, I seem to have tokens in projects I've never heard of on the EOS platform, but I'm not gonna complain, because the more I can gain, at some point some of those projects are going to kick off and start doing very well. If I've got free tokens like you do with ERC20, then why would I complain? It's just that we probably expected more than there was going to be currently. So that's basically what has happened up until now. What's going to happen in the future? Now, one thing they need to start doing is, if you look at their website, they obviously mention games on their website. I think it's down here. It's called Elemental Battles, powered by EOS IO. So this is obviously a DApp, or a digital app on the Ethereum EOS blockchain, and obviously you can learn to build, and you can obviously sign up today. And this is basically what EOS is trying to do. Similar to what Tron is doing, is building games on its blockchain. EOS is doing it, and I understand there's some games for Tron and Ethereum and things like which are hard to, I guess, not install, but get hold of and understand how to use it. One thing I did mention earlier, there seems to be a lot more money in the project for EOS than there is for Ethereum and Tron, and possibly Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash, and what else is on the list? Tron, Stellar, Cardano. So they are able to probably throw more money into projects, or invest more money into projects in terms of research and development, to get better dApps on their platform. Not necessarily games, but dApps. And that's really going to be the key point here. At the moment, I don't see any business partners for EOS. I don't see big crypto, so big banks or investment houses or hedge funds talking about EOS. They only ever talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and sometimes Litecoin. So it's going to be on the dApp side at the moment. Obviously, with a year and a half old, people are just waiting to see how this project develops, especially as investment banks are not going to invest in a project which is not even 2 years old yet. And really, it had a peak of $21, and then it slumped down to $2.84, and the initial entrance price is $1.02. So we're not massively over what it used to be when it first launched, although the volume suggests that people are very much interested in EOS. So the dApps is going to be most important. The people behind it obviously very serious about it. The money is there. I think they've even thrown $1 billion into research and development. So possibly more dApps, making the blockchain stronger. What else can be done on the EOS network? It's going to be probably a number of years before I think that banks or investment banks and hedge funds start talking about EOS as in like an ETF. We are hearing conversations or talks about, even from last year, an Ethereum ETF. I mean, they haven't even got a Bitcoin ETF yet, but there's conversation about an Ethereum ETF. There's no talk about EOS at the moment. It's just way, way too early. Although the money is there in terms of its volume, they probably want similar liquidity to Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is nearly at 6 billion for today until Saturday. Obviously, the price is potentially higher, but Bitcoin's volume has always been up there compared to the rest. Obviously, it's coin number one. So even with Ethereum, it's 2.8 billion. So when we start getting up to these numbers, where we get easily over $1.5 billion, 2 billion a day in volume, and then we'll start seeing a bit more movement from investment banks to list EOS as even as a fund. I don't see many places listing it as a fund. So those things haven't happened yet. What do I think is going to happen for the rest of the year? So I guess a lot of it depends and we're coming up to the end of the first quarter, end of next month. I don't see EOS price really going to change this month. It's sitting at $2.84. so wait for it to load. It's been fairly consistent in its price the last few weeks, months. So if we look at from December, I mean, it dropped down to $1.74. So, I mean, that was your point of entry, really. In fact, I think I bought some around that price, $1.80. I think I bought it at. So the point of entry would have been then, which would be nice, but still fairly good price now, depending on what we expect the price to be. So $2.57, and it's now sitting at I think $2.84. So it's on the rise very slowly, and you can almost make a pattern where from point to point where you can see the resistance points being created. Good thing is it hasn't dropped in terms anywhere near its bottom where it was last year. So we would hope that's the bottom for EOS. So even if you're going to buy it now, even if it did drop back down to $1.80, $1.70, it wouldn't be a massive drop in terms of its price now. Obviously, it's a massive drop from when it got to in April, which was $21.46. So where do I see it by going by? Let's just say if we start from March onwards, and March, April, May, June, July, August. So if we give it until August, which is 6 months from March, and this is all dependent on we're expecting more of a bull run market by that time, only because we know that BACT is going to be later this year, so we're possibly mentioning May, June time for BACT, and once Bitcoin moves, the rest of the market moves. And EOS is one of those currencies which is going to be around. A lot of things are going to die off, and we have talked about this many times there, where market's going to go from 2068 coins, and it's going to shrink. And it's shrinking because even today, Binance mentioned it's delisting a number of coins, and one of them surprisingly was Salt. And obviously, I've never looked at Salt, but I know it's a way to get loans on the crypto market, and it's been dropped by Binance for whatever reason. So the more delistings happen from places like Binance, the less currencies they'll be able to buy, which means projects will just shut up shop. So, currencies will start shrinking. EOS is not something which is going to disappear. It's going to be around for many years. It's got money, it's got backing, it's got focus. So if we are in a bull market by August, then I can see it hitting past what its all-time high was. So it's $21 without any really stuff going on from April 2018. So we would be on a year and a bit from that all-time high. We've had a bit more maturity in its age as well. So we would be looking around a $25 mark by August. Fairly reasonable, I think. That's to say, I'm not going to start saying it's going to hit $200 by August, because we also need to look at the price point it's going to be at. So if we look at what its price was when it did hit $21, so that's year to date. So its volume was 3.3 billion. Wow. Well, we can work it out anyway. So if I just took, that was just me calculating other figures, $25, it was at 2.2 billion market cap. So obviously, where does it sit now? So that's wrong, because that's 22 billion. Very silly of me. So 22 billion would be the market cap. That was roughly what the market cap was when it was in April last year. So not a massive market cap, and that would be a pretty good return if you enter the market now. Again, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but I got slightly engrossed with the video. So this is literally my predictions and nothing more than that. Please go and do your own research, regardless of what I say in the project. Regardless of what I say, it's your money. Don't just throw your money in because I'm saying it's a good project to invest in. everything has risk. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and that's very, very important. So anyway, 25 billion is what it would be at $25. So if we compare that to Ethereum's price, Ethereum is sitting at 12 billion. So we'd obviously expect Ethereum to move if EOS is moving. So we would roughly say that Ethereum would be sitting at maybe 40, 50 billion by that point. Let's say 40 billion. So roughly slightly half of Ethereum's market cap. Purely on the fact that we expect the Ethereum price to be around over $200 by then, if EOS is going to be around $20, just how the market moves. Rarely does a market currency move by itself. You never see a day where everything's red and Bitcoin's green. It's generally a number of coins are green, a number of coins are red, or they're all green, or they're all red. So the market moves, it's all pinned together. There's no decoupling yet with currencies like number 2 or number 5. Bitcoin has to go decouple itself first before we start seeing decoupling of other coins. So we're sitting at $25 by August. And if we continue this momentum of a bull run, we continue to go on a bull run until the end of the year, or even past the end of the year, where we were looking. Do I imagine a $300 EOS this year? No. If you look at $300 EOS, we're looking at a major price. You're looking at a price of $271 billion. Is that possible? Yes, anything is possible. I don't think it's going to get to $300 this year, though. For a move from $2.84 to $300 is a major move. I know that Ethereum went from around $1,700 around $70 in March 2017 and reached a $1,400 mark in December or January 2018, and it's possible, but I don't think it's gonna be that quick. I think a lot of money, a lot of focus at the moment are on projects like Bitcoin and XRP and Ethereum. EOS is mentioned a lot, but not as much as those other cryptocurrencies. If you do probably a search on cryptocurrencies, the most searched is obviously going to be Bitcoin. Then I think bizarrely it's actually not Ethereum. Not bizarrely, it's correct. It's Bitcoin, then XRP, and then I think it's Ethereum, then Litecoin. So in the top 4 searches, top 5, I don't think EOS makes it at the moment. I think by the end of 2019, we're probably going to be looking roughly around a $70 to maybe $100 for EOS. I'm probably going to be more conservative and probably stick on the $70 mark because, again, a coin which isn't that old, it takes a lot. Once the coin starts reaching maybe $25, $30 and goes past its all-time high, then you've got, I think, a product where I could invest $10 now and get, I could invest $12 now and roughly get about 10 EOS. If I wanted 10 EOS on a $25 mark, I'll need to invest $250. So this is what I'm saying, point of entry now, in my opinion, is good. But they get to a point where people start looking at other cheaper coins, and exactly that point, it mentioned in the video that it did quite well because the point of entry originally was very low. It was $1.02 and it went to $1.80. If somebody like Coinbase was to go list EOS as a currency, then we would see price hikes because people would see Litecoin on there for $43, Bitcoin on there for $3,600, Ethereum there for $128, and Bitcoin Cash on there for $122. and then you've got EOS at $2.84. So people would say it's no brainer to even throw in $100 or $200 and buy a lot of Ethereum, EOS, and we start seeing the price increase. And these are the places where price will also supplement. Sorry, these things will supplement the price in terms of it reaching a $70 by end of 2019. Now, obviously, that's certainly not a long shot and certainly not a crazy prediction. I think it's very conservative. In fact, I've seen actually some places give it a lot higher in the next couple of years. Now, what can you do after 2019? After 2019, it's really going to depend on where we are in the market. 2020, we've got Bitcoin halving, and again, that affects the rest of the market. People may say it does and doesn't. If Bitcoin moves, the market moves at the moment. So, and it depends on what happens next year with other companies coming in, and if EOS can get the noticed by the big whales, then money comes in, then we can see prices going up. If we expect by, let's say, 2021 that Bitcoin market cap is over itself $1 or $2 trillion, then we can certainly expect a $200 EOS. But that depends on what happens with Ethereum, what happens with Constantinople, what happens with Casper, how is by then proof of stake working? Because by 2021, people would be fully invested in proof of stake. There shouldn't be anybody else in proof of work, or there should be no sort of infighting in Ethereum trying to hold on to POW, and everybody's on POS, and you'll have more options to stake coins on Ethereum network, so people would buy into Ethereum. However, it's easier to stake into EOS because you need less money at the moment to invest in. So around $200 EOS by 2021 is certainly, again, a very conservative estimate. Obviously, it all depends on us being on a bull run at that time, or a consistent bull run, or more highs and low days compared to what we have been in 2018. All in all, that's my prediction for 2019. It will be roughly 3.5 times what it was all-time high was in April. Not very high at all, to be honest. I've read predictions for EOS for 2021 to be $1,000. Now, for it to be $1,000, so that would be at $1,000, just over $90 billion. Entirely possible, of course it's plausible, but if we're looking at EOS now at 2.5 billion, you're looking like a 10, 20, 30, 40x from its actual price or market cap now. Would it happen this year? Very, very, very unlikely. Can it happen? Of course it can. But there needs to be more, certainly more liquidity in EOS over the next couple of years, and a lot more integration into other systems and killer dApps, and that's what's going to do it for EOS. That's really what's going to do it for this video. So $70 by hopefully by end of this year. We're looking by $25 by probably around August time. So that's my prediction. What do you guys think? Do you want me to talk about any other coin predictions? I mean, the ones I've spoken about previously are the ones I believe mostly about. I don't want to start doing predictions about coins I don't know much about, or I don't necessarily believe that it's going to get to these prices. I don't want to make a video just for hype, to make a title of saying, I don't know, Stellar's going to get to $20, $30, because I don't know. And my interests are the coins I've spoken about previously. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you very much.